Hey everyone! Tempeh is one of my favorite proteins to eat, but I haven't bought it in a store in a long time because it tastes so much better homemade, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. Let's jump right into it.
First, we need some uncooked soybeans. These are organic soybeans that I bought online. You can also use regular soybeans, but I find that tempeh made with organic soybeans tastes a lot better. Measure out 500 grams of soybeans and pour it onto a tray. Let's go over all the soybeans and pick out any old and hard bits. There might even be some small rocks in here, so we have to make sure there's nothing weird. Once we've picked everything out, pour it into a large bowl. Then we're covering the soybeans with 2 liters of water. We're going to let it soak overnight. Look how much bigger they've gotten. Next, we want to remove the skin from the soybeans and split them in half like this. I find that rubbing the soybeans between my hands gets the job done faster. You want to make sure that most of the skin has been removed and the majority of the soybeans are split in half. Don't stress out if there are still some whole beans and some skin. To flush out the skin, we need to agitate the water like this so the skin floats to the top. Then we can pour it gently into a colander. I like to do this over another bowl so I can reuse the water to repeat the process again. Once we're done rinsing out the soybean skins, we're ready to cook them. I'm using a pressure cooker today to make the process faster. Along with the soybeans, we're going to add in 2 liters of water. We want to cook the soybeans until they're tender but not mushy. On my pressure cooker, that's 12 minutes. It may be a bit different on your pressure cooker. You can also boil this on the stove for about 45 minutes to an hour. Be careful not to overcook the soybeans. When the soybeans are cooked, drain the water out. Then pour the soybeans onto a tray lined with a tea towel. Oops, I overshot it a little bit. Spread the soybeans to an even layer and let it steam dry and cool completely. This is the sort of doneness we want for the soybeans. It's very important that the soybeans are not overcooked. In fact, it's probably better a little under than over. As soon as the soybeans are cooled, we can place them into a bowl. To this, we're adding some vinegar. This is to prevent the growth of any unwanted bacteria. I'm using brown rice vinegar for extra flavor. You can use white vinegar as well. Give it a good stir. Then we're going to sprinkle in the tempeh starter. We need about 1 heaped teaspoon of this. It doesn't have to be super precise. Stir it for a bit to make sure everything is well combined. Next, get a Ziploc bag ready. This is a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. I don't like using single-use plastic, but you can wash this one out and reuse it the next time you make tempeh. Put all the soybeans into the bag. If you prefer, you can also use smaller-sized Ziploc bags for smaller squares of tempeh. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Once everything is in, we want to make sure all the air is out and seal the bag. Flatten everything out with your hands into an even layer. And then get a toothpick and prick tiny holes all over the bag. Space them about 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters apart. The holes are so the air can circulate around the beans. You can also use banana leaves for this, but I haven't tried that method yet. Flip it over quickly and poke holes on the other side too. Then grab a chopping board and wiggle it a bit to even out the soybeans in the bag. Slide the bag onto a wire rack quickly so the layer isn't disrupted. We're going to let this sit at room temperature for 24 hours. In Malaysia, that's about 27 to 29 degrees Celsius. If you're in a cooler climate, find a nice warm spot for it to sit. It's been 24 hours now and you can see some white fuzz starting to grow. That's a good sign. The fuzz is actually a white mold called mycelium. Amazing stuff, right? But it's not ready yet. Let's fast forward another 12 hours.
Ooh, it's so nice and warm.
The mycelium has grown all around the soybean, so it's now one solid block. This is what it looks like when it's ready. It should be white and solid. If you're not sure, you can cut off a tiny piece to see what it looks like inside. If your tempeh isn't done yet, check back in another 6 to 12 hours. Depending on how warm the environment is, the process might be faster or longer. I'm cutting the tempeh in half so it's easier to get it out of the Ziploc bag. Be careful not to cut through the plastic so you can reuse it again for next time. Your tempeh should also have a nutty, mushroomy smell. Sometimes it may smell slightly of ammonia and that's completely fine. But if your tempeh smells bad or funky, toss it out. If there are some grey or black spots on your tempeh, it's fine. But if you see green or pink mold, that's bad. You can cut your tempeh many ways: strips, chunks, triangles, anything you like. Store your tempeh in the fridge, but bear in mind that even in the fridge, it's still fermenting. It's just doing so at a slower rate. This will change the taste and will spoil the tempeh faster. So if you're not using your tempeh right away, I recommend freezing it. It will keep fresh in the freezer for months. To use it, just thaw and cook as usual.
If you've never had homemade tempeh before, you're in for a treat. It's got such a nice flavor and so much nuttier. You'll never go back to store-bought tempeh ever again. If you'd like to see how I cook with tempeh, I'll be making a video next week. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it.